Welcome to the first episode of Worldview with Captain Kurt. London is the second most visited city in the world, and for good reason. My favorite place is the Tower of London because it's a real old Game of Thrones type castle. It plays a really important part of English history. The inside building is called White Tower, built almost 1,000 years ago. The walls and towers surrounding White Tower were added by different English kings and queens over the years. White Tower was built as a result of one of the most important events in English history, the invasion of England. Almost 1,000 years ago, England is ruled by King Edward, who doesn't have any children and doesn't have an heir. He's friends with a guy named Harold, who is a powerful nobleman. King Edward is getting old and he's on his deathbed in a coma. He wakes up briefly. He says, Harold is gonna be the next king. It goes back into his coma and dies soon after that. Harold is like, alright, sweet, I'm king now. After King Edward dies, Harold is crowned king in Westminster Abbey. The problem is that across the English Channel in Normandy, France, the cousin of the dead King Edward claims that he was promised the English throne. This guy has the unfortunate name of William the Bastard, and he's like, oh no, Harold, I'm the rightful king of England. William is not happy, so he gathers his army, builds a bunch of ships on this beach in Normandy, and sails across to England to claim his throne. When William lands in England, King Harold marches his army from London and the two armies meet in an epic battle outside the town of Hastings. These two armies fight for 9 hours. Poor Harold gets shot with an arrow right in the eye and dies right there on the battlefield. So William is like, I'm now the King of England because Harold is dead. But now he has to convince everybody in England that he is their rightful king, and that's not easy. William is smart and he knows he has to get a grip on power quickly, so he goes on a castle building spree across England all the way to London, where he builds the biggest and most powerful castle, the Tower of London. London is already the largest city in England, and this new castle is by far the biggest building in the entire city. William the Conqueror becomes his new name, and he lives in the Tower of London and rules England from it. When he's attacked, he shelters in the castle with his soldiers and they fight off the attackers. Most of the kings kept lions, so lions would be growling and roaring while you walk in. The castle becomes the main house and center of power for all the kings and queens that come after William the Conqueror for hundreds of years.
It's so cool to walk through here because it's like from a movie where it really is like this medieval castle.
From that day at the Battle of Hastings all the way up to today, the kings and queens of England have all been descendants of William the Conqueror, including the current queen and her family. England has never had such a complete invasion since that battle in 1066. That's a long time. The Battle of Hastings changed England forever, and it went on to become one of the most powerful countries in the world throughout history. Power hasn't strayed far from these walls even today. In fact, a modern form of world power, the London Financial District, borders the Tower of London's walls. If you're in London, I'd definitely check out the Tower of London. And now you have a little context to make it more exciting and meaningful. I want to give a special thanks to Allianz Global Assistance for sponsoring this video. This is Captain Kurt. I'll see you next time.